Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Darling in the FranXX, which is on episode 19. This episode right here was actually pretty cool. Actually had a lot of fun and very, very informative. That I'm just gonna tell you right now. Those of you guys who watched it will understand where I'm coming from. Those of you who haven't, well, be prepared with a lot of vague details that I may not be giving you as much as I can, but I'll try to be detailed as possible, but I got some other things to do, so I may end up hurrying up or rushing things, which is why it's always recommended to watch the episode before any review or recap of a person doing it. So if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that we get a little backstory about FranXX himself. Back then, he was just a scientist who's been doing illegal activities, as they call it, through cloning. And apparently, he is hired by someone called the Ape Organization, who is the main reason why humanity is where they are today. Well, in other words, why they are, let me see here, possibly immortal or something, as you want to call it, because immortality was mentioned in this episode, and the way how they achieved it was like grabbing magma energy or something like that. And eventually, because they recognized FranXX's talented science skills, they decided to hire him for help. And of course, like eventually cities will start to be better, but the only thing is like what driven many people apart was like unless you are related to magma energy, you become rich, and the others who are not, they are like in the freaking down the dumps, and that is the ugliest thing. And we see to it that eventually, as a backstory and world building continues, we have to it that eventually, after harvesting so much magma energy that could stop aging and give you immortality, there's one thing in particular that's causing more chaos to them, and that is what they call the screaming reptile or the Cloxosaur. Eventually, they got attracted to magma energy too, and started to cause major chaos and destruction to whatever they could find. But eventually, with the help of FranXX, it's Dr. FranXX, which we all know who he is. We have to it that they're trying to like find a way how to fight the Cloxosaur, and eventually I think like that's where like these kids comes in, and the funny thing is that these kids are not made reproductively, but through scientific cloning illegal methods. But that is the only way how to like fight the Cloxosaur. But in terms of which you guys might be asking, how is it that they come up with such mechanized power to like fight these things? Of course, it goes through a number of sacrificing trials. And what I mean by that is that a lot of people died in order to have the mecha piloted at this point. But at the same time, they needed the kids to handle it. As for the adults, as you want to consider, they don't know about the Cloxosaurs ever existing. Those who live in the city or in that like moving fortress planetarium, whatever you want to call it, throughout Earth. So we have to it that, of course, like after millions of sacrifices, maybe thousands at most, they managed to make a machine or weapon to combat the Cloxosaur with the help of a man and woman piloting it together at the same time, and they need the reproductive organs in order to do so. Of course, like throughout the backstory or world building that was shown, we have to that FranXX wants to go visit the queen of the Cloxosaur. Eventually, the doctor was spared, but the ones who were guarding him are killed off. He does meet the Cloxosaur princess head on and was infatuated by her. And we have to it that eventually she bit off his arm, but before he got sent back, he managed to grab some DNA, and I guess that's where it is revealed about the Nines and possibly Zero Two herself. He managed to grab some DNA and did some major experiments to have him fight for humanity. And I guess it's revealed here in this episode. I mean, like he managed to grab some DNA from the Cloxosaur princess and manages to like make illegal cloning experiments, and that's where I believe where the Nines and Zero Two comes from. Surprising, huh? So those guys are just like blood relatives of the Clock Sword Princess, possibly, because think about it. If Zero Two has those horns or something, and especially when it comes to the Nines as well, there's no way in heck that they are just reproduced. They were cloned by using the power of the Clock Sword Princess's DNA, etc. That's how they were made. And now I'll get to Squad 13's problems, because there were many parts of Squad 13's issues being played during the world building of FranXX's backstory, etc. So Squad 13 are really upset to see how Mitsuru and Kokoro doesn't remember each other, even though they try to tell the truth. And we see to it that Futoshi says, "Nuh-uh, you're gonna be partners with Mitsuru, okay? This is very important." As for the others, they decide to talk to Papa about this, and we have to it that they vaguely answer their questions, like, why did you erase their memories and so forth? Return it to them. They go like, that's impossible. We can't return their memories. All we did is get rid of some emotions that they had within their system. That's it. And as for Zorome, he asked, how many Cloxosaurs do we need to kill to become an adult? Of course, they did not answer that question, and Zorome might have realized that they are made to pilot the FranXX until they die or something, which is really, really messed up, but I guess that's how things are. And we have to it that Hiro gets really upset about this and says like, after what you've done to us, etc., I can no longer see you as our papa. None of us can. So I'm going to tell you this right now. Once this battle is over, free us. We're done. And we have to it that the leader goes like, I agree. If you successfully fulfill the next mission, we'll let you guys go and you can do whatever the hell you want. And we had to it that FranXX talks to Hiro for a bit, but Hiro could only have bitterness and hatred towards FranXX because of what he's done. He therefore tells FranXX by saying, I'm never gonna forgive you for what you did to me in here, for what you did to me in 02, okay? And we have to it that FranXX on the other hand says, 02 will hate me if she ever found out the truth or something, which is shown in the world building of FranXX's backstory. It's like how Ape came to be so popular and recognized in terms of like making humanity grow in terms of magma energy, and they become the founders of it, etc. And of course, FranXX, how he is today, etc. How he got his arm bit off by the Clock Sword Princess, and why he's cybernetic to this point, or a cyborg at this point as well. So, in other words, it's just a major world-building episode for Darling and the FranXX in this episode. Very informative, as I said, especially about FranXX himself, and we get to know the truth of how 02 and the Nines were created, thanks to the Cloxosaur's DNA, which FranXX managed to get before he got his arm bitten off, and the Cloxosaur Princess tells him to back the hell off and go away, So I guess it's really confirmed or something, or I think it's already like obvious to this point that 02 and the Nines, the elite squad, whatsoever you want to call them, of the FranXX, are in relation to the Cloxosaur Princess because of cloning through her DNA. So, like I said, it looks a little obvious to this point from here on out, and looking forward to see where this goes. Pretty excited myself. Looking forward to more. I mean, there's only a couple episodes left. Next week will be what? Episode 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Only a couple left, and then only 5 more weeks left at most or something. And yeah, it's gonna get hectic. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm off for Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. All right? And possibly I might be live streaming more for Fanimation or something, etc., which I plan to go today after this. Peace out. Bye-bye.